Hello everyone, welcome to PassionWaterTarot. My name is Mamadou, and today is Missing Person Monday. So let's start off this reading by asking Holy Spirit, Spirit Guide, angels and ancestors to come into this reading with love and light to provide the highest level of clarity to those receiving messages, and ask that chakras be open to allow those messages to be received with ease. We're going to look at a case that has stumped investigators for almost 11 years now. A case that has broken the heart of a mother for almost 11 years now. The person at the center, the most important person, it's three of them. It's the SKELTON brothers. Have you heard of them? There were three little boys. There was Andrew, who was 9, Alexander, who was 7, and Tanner, who was 5. Their mother had primary custody of them, but on holidays they were to go see their father and spend time with their father. John, I think his first name is John. Hold on. I'm terrible with, I don't want to focus on that person. I want to focus on the boys. Yeah, the father's name was John, is John. Mother's name is Tanya Zuvers, Zuvers. The custody battle was still raging, and there had been recent court hearings where the father was not getting his way. His demands were not being met. But here it is, Thanksgiving 2010. And the boys are at his residence for the holiday. Sorry. My motion detector's going off, but I don't see anything. Oh, I do now. It was a four-wheeler. Somebody having some fun. But let's get back to the boys, okay? They're just young boys. They're just children trying to have a happy life, a happy existence, going through struggles because dad's behavior is angry at times due to the divorce, due to not getting his demands met with the courts. And this happened in Morenci, Michigan, not far out of Ohio. So he was supposed to return the boys to their mother the day after Thanksgiving. But when she got there, the boys weren't there. The father told her they're gone. He's changed his story many, many times. Now he is in jail for their unsolved disappearances, okay? And the question is always on the table. Are they alive or are they dead? Did their father murder them? Well, they were seen alive on the 26th of November playing in the backyard of their father's home in Morenci. At the time, the children, as I said, were on a holiday at their dad's house. Mom reported them missing on Friday when John couldn't produce the boys. He was interrogated many times by investigators, and they found that through phone records he had traveled between 4:29 a.m. and 6:46 a.m. on Friday after Thanksgiving, and he went to Holiday City, Ohio, 25 miles from his home, around the same time that the boys disappeared, the same time they vanished. Now, he's had all kinds of stories. He's saying that at one point that he gave them up to somebody else to protect them from their mother. But what they discovered when they were looking at phone records and computer records was that John Googled how to break a neck the week before the children went missing. And he also attempted to hang himself. Now, the year after the boys went missing, John was placed in jail. He was sentenced 10 to 15 years for the unlawful imprisonment of the boys. And in 2018, he was up for parole and it was denied. That's the last parole information I can find, was that it was denied. But he should be coming up for parole again. And it's one of the reasons why we need to get this out here. We need to have people writing the prison system in Michigan not to release this person. He's not been charged in the killings because there's no evidence that they are deceased. Yet we have no evidence that they are alive. Like I said, he once claimed that a woman named Joanne Taylor had took the kids, that he gave her the boys. Then he said the boys was with a group of child protective activists because he wanted to protect them from Tanya. And that they were on a farm in Ohio. But he won't give up the name of the organization where the boys are, nor anyone came forward saying that they know who they are or where they are. Well, part of the situation is that most of the boys are grown now, right? You're talking about almost 11 years ago. So at this point, Alexander is turning 18. Andrew is turning 20. Tanner would be 16. And your dad's sitting in jail for protecting you, then why aren't you coming forward to get your dad released? Well, they can't come forward. Why can't they? Why aren't they? If they were alive. If he did this for their best interest, where is their support to him now? I mean, they're not going to be prosecuted if they came forward. Alright, so let's step back a little bit to when the divorce was filed. Mom filed the divorce September 13, 2010. So less than 2 or just over 2 months before the boys went missing. Well, the same day that she filed, John went to the school and took out Alexander and Andrew and headed for Florida. Yeah, from Michigan to Florida. Yeah, sudden trip, right? Then he returned the boys, recognizing that that was probably not the best thing to do. It put so much focus on him at the time. And that's what led to Tanya being granted sole custody of the brothers with a visitation agreement. Now, a month before the boys went missing, the dad filed to change the custody and filed for custody of the boys, alleging that the mother was a registered sex offender. And that was because the mom had pled guilty to fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct for having sex with a 14-year-old boy back in '98. But she denied being abusive to her sons. That was his excuse for suddenly wanting to take the boys away from her. It was a tit for tat. Oh, you didn't get your way, so now you're going to try it another way. You want to throw in other, well, it's not a little problem. Having a grown woman having sex with a little boy is not a little problem. This is a big issue. This is criminal, and it's very destructive to the child. But when you're using that information out of malice and spite because you didn't get your way, and then a month later, suddenly the boys are gone. There's no hide nor hair of them. They've vanished off the face of the earth. And when the police arrive to take the missing person report and start their investigation, your house is destroyed. Everything is torn up. Now, they did not find evidence of like a lot of blood anywhere or skin anywhere, but the house was destroyed. Like somebody had just went through having this massive temper tantrum, and as if they couldn't hold it together, and they couldn't handle the memories that they were surrounded by. So let's ask Spirit about the disappearance of the Skeleton boys. Andrew, Alexander, and Tanner. Holy Spirit, Spirit Guide, angels, and ancestors, what can you reveal to us regarding the disappearance of the Skeleton brothers in 2010? Thank you for all messages forthcoming. What say ye? Let me get it where I can see the camera again. I always like to do that, so whenever I flip things over. Two of Pentacles. Whew. Bring in balance. Having to make a decision. That Two of Pentacles. It's, well, what do I need to do? How do I get my way? How can I accomplish my goal? There was choices, and a clear decision was made. Damn. The Ten of Cups in reverse right off the bat. A very unhappy home. A very unhappy house. A very unhappy occupants. All those whose energy filled this space. There was This was not done out of compassion and love. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Really? There were absolutely red flags missed. Spirit is telling me that the boys had even voiced a time or two that they were not completely comfortable at Dad's house under the circumstances, that they weren't completely comfortable or happy, and with the parent situation and the turmoil between them. But they were not seeing these complaints, these statements fell on deaf ears. The message that these little kids tried to convey was not heard. The Eight of Cups. No turning back. The past is done. Looking back on it is not going to change it or improve it. The Five of Cups in reverse. No regret or remorse for the actions. These boys ask that this not be done to them. Please don't hurt me. Just love me. I'm going to stop for just a second. For all those family, friends, searchers, investigators, and anyone else invested in this reading, I want to get a message from Spirit, Guide, Angels, and Ancestors as a positive confirmation for you regarding this case. Woo! Sounds like the mama. I'm telling you, it sounds just like Tanya. If you've read any of her interviews or heard any of her interviews, I will not give in. I'm not going to stop. Today I will not allow negative thoughts or feelings to prevent me from achieving happiness. Or the last word can be changed to your goals. Locating the boys, being able to bring them home, and making sure that this man never walks free amongst us again. Let's see what clarifiers we get. Yeah, there was no turning back. Temperance is in reverse. Wow. There was no changing what has happened, what has been said, yeah. It was basically finalized. There's no amount of apology that's going to improve this situation. Sorry, my eye is itching. Death. Death is coming out over that Ten of Cups in reverse. And for the boys, yes, there's just saying that their energy was removed from this earth. and they've had a new beginning in the 5D, in the afterlife. From the hard struggles of the earth to seeing the sun and the new beginning in the afterlife. From one extreme of harshness to one extreme of happiness. Being at peace. Their souls are at peace now. And Spirit tells me for a long time. On top of the Page of Pentacles in reverse, we have the Four Cups in reverse. Yeah. Even more confirmation that the boys tried not to be in uncomfortable situations, but their complaints, their pleas was absolutely not taken seriously, not found to be grounded, not investigated well. What other clarifiers do you have, Spirit, for this reading? I have many questions, Spirit. I want to know who hurt the skeleton boys. I want to know how they hurt them. I want to know where they're at. Thank you for all messages forthcoming. What say ye? So, it's a red blanket. It has flowers on it. It's going to blend in well with the surrounding territory. Head to toe wrapping. 5 of Wands and the upright. Yeah, the boys couldn't defend themselves. They were just little boys. You know, they were 7, 9, and 5. Once again, Andrew was 9, Alexander was 7, and Tanner was 5. So, Spirit, what happened to the boys? Can you please tell us what happened to the skeleton boys? Were they murdered? Was this an accident? Thank you for all messages forthcoming. What say ye? Four of Swords. Okay. So they were in bed when this occurred. They were each asleep and attacked in their sleep. And they were absolutely each asleep. And that's clarified by the Fool that this person who attacked them made this very clear-cut decision to jump off into the abyss, into the nothingness, in an attempt to have a new beginning, to get their way. Who was it that hurt the skeleton boys, Spirit? Who hurt the skeleton boys? Was it one of the parents? Was it a friend, a family member? Was it a stranger? Who hurt the skeleton boys? Thank you for all messages forthcoming. What say ye? The Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords. Hold on. I don't have the camera where I can show you the cards well, so I want to turn that around. There we go. The Ace of Swords and the Four of Wands. Somebody who they honored. That was like the head of the household. The head of the household. Somebody who they respected. Someone they trusted. Someone who should have been protecting them is the one that caused the harm. And it's clarified by the Hangman in reverse. Having this ideal, having this flash, very spontaneous flash of, I'm going to kill him now. If I can't have him, she damn sure ain't going to have him. And putting those thoughts into action. Five of Swords. Basically saying, if I can't have him, she damn sure ain't going to have him. If I have to suffer without my kids and my wife here, then she can suffer along the way too. Because she abandoned me. The selfishness is very exaggerated, okay? It's very exaggerated ego. Spirit is saying Dad is the predator. Dad is the one that caused the harm. So did Dad bury the boys, Spirit? Did Dad bury the boys on the property or off of the property during his trip to Ohio? Thank you for all messages forthcoming. What say ye? Eight of Pentacles. Really? The trip was to throw everybody off of what he really did with them. He didn't put that much effort in. This is a man that wasn't going to put that kind of effort in. And it's clarified by the King of Swords. Thought he was smarter than the average bear. Yo, boo-boo. No. John, you're not smarter than the average bear. As you sit there in prison for their disappearances. So where are the skeleton boys' remains located, Spirit? How can we find the skeleton boys? How can we find Andrew, Alexander, and Tanner? Thank you for all messages forthcoming. What say ye? Can we do another search to locate the skeleton boys? I know the trip was to throw investigators off. I know he didn't put in effort to bury the boys. Where did he leave their remains at? They're wrapped up. I got that part. I saw that in the messenger spirit. Red blanket, red flowery blanket, a blanket with red flowers. And they're wrapped up tight. Where can we locate the remains of the boys, spirit? Well, Spirit's giving us a little bit of a story here, okay? Page of Wands in reverse. Nine of Cups in reverse. Page of Swords in reverse. And once again, the Five of Swords is out here. So, well, John, I really wanted to focus on the boys for this reading, for their energy, to bring their energy through in the reading. John really wants to come through what he thinks, but he's always trying to control the damn narrative. So I don't appreciate his energy. All right. But this is coming from his energy again. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and read it because it's come out in the reading. But what it says with that Page of Wands here in reverse, Spirit is saying that he was depressed. He was sad. He was losing his grip on his own happiness and reality. Seeing his dreams crashing to the floor, crashing through the street, basically. And he tried to reach out to get his way, to gain his way, with snippets of truth. It's like that person that wants to look good by making somebody else look bad. Well, that's what John tried to do. And that just caused him more people to walk away from him and not listen to him. And he felt that nobody was standing by him. Nobody heard his plight. Nobody understood him. Okay? So spirit guide, angels, and ancestors, will we be able to locate the remains of the Skeleton brothers? Thank you for all messages forthcoming. What say ye? Can we locate the remains of Andrew, Alexander, and Tanner? We have 3 cards that came out. Nine of Swords in reverse. The Nine of Pentacles in the upright. And the Nine of Pentacles in the upright. Okay. It's going to be somebody who's not emotionally involved. Very spontaneously is going to happen upon some scattered remains. That did happen about 3 years ago, I want to say it was, where they found a bunch of remains and they wondered if those were the skeleton boys, so they ran forensic tests on them and discovered they were not. So if you're questioning that part, those were the ones found in a shed. Those were not Andrew, Alexander, or Tanner. But they're going to call. Whoever comes across this, they're going to be out hiking. They're going to be out on a day trip. And they're going to come see the red. The red, whether it's the red in the flowers or the blanket is red that the boys are wrapped up in. They're going to see it. It's going to stand out, jump out at them. Very different than the other area around them at that particular time. And it's going to be discovered at that point that it is the remains of the skeleton boys. And that will help bring stability, groundedness to this case and be able to reinvest the investigation, re-trigger further investigation to see if there's more charges that can be brought against John for harming these precious children. So what clarifiers do we have for locating the skeleton boys? Yeah. It was all about mental illness, that's for damn sure. It was all about control, controlisms, narcissistic behavior. You're going to do as I say. It's my way or the highway. If you don't do what I want, I'm going to cause destruction. It's going to remove a lot of the questions because once the remains are located, it'll remove the smoke and mirrors. It's going to open up doors and open up windows to allow further prosecution of John. Is this going to be happening soon, Spirit? Thank you for all messages forthcoming. Will the remains be happening soon? Will the remains be located soon? It's been almost 11 years, Spirit. Spirit, will the remains of the skeleton boys be located soon? I'm taking them all because this is a missing person reading. So let's figure out what's going on. Four of Pentacles. What's valuable to you? What do you hold near and dear? Ace of Wands. Okay, the ending of the removing of energy from this lifetime. Queen of Cups in reverse. To intentionally disrupt another person. A Queen of Cups to intentionally dislodge her from her throne. Judgment. Being sent to prison. Finding. Literally finding. That's the sun. It's finding happiness. It's moving to a better day. And where it may not be the solution we want, but to have a solution, to have answers, is better than being left wondering. And knowing that the Father did it, the Emperor in reverse, knowing that it was his decision, he made it, he's responsible for it, and he needs to own up to it. Offering love, and it ain't nothing but a damn lie. Saying he loves them. Maybe he did in his own right. Mental illness can absolutely alter a person's ability to think clearly. And I really don't believe that people in their right minds go around killing others. So I'm going to ask again from Spirit, will the remains of the skeleton boys be located soon? Knight of Swords. It's in the air. It's in the air. It has to do with free will. It has to do with we all have free will. And this person, when they're out hiking, do they take that path? Do they take this path? Do they veer off? Do they go look at this? Are they going to do it today? Are they going to do it next month? Yeah. This has to do with where they're at in their mind the first time they see it, because they may be there 2 or 3 times before they realize what they're looking for and actually see the devastation, actually see the betrayal, actually notice that those are human remains that they have come across. Spirit guide, angels and ancestors, are the boys in Michigan or are the boys in Ohio? Thank you for all messages. Ten of Wands in reverse. Oh, it's in a... It's in an area that has pretty much all new growth. So a lot of evidence may have already been destroyed for whatever reason, that whether there was a fire. That's what I see as a fire, and it's left the area with pretty much new growth, but is evidence still remaining. 2 of Swords in reverse, yeah, that's evidence still remaining. Spirit had already told me that from the first card, but that's supporting that the boys have not been stabbed. It's not that they weren't cut up. Their remains are laid out whole. Of course, after all this time, skin and things like that are pretty much non-existent. But the boys were not butchered up. The moon in reverse. Okay, so they're going to be located in the daytime. This is a area that, because of the new growth, it gets a lot of sun. So it's causing the bones to have more of a bleached look to it. So they kind of, that's what's going to, this person who locates the remains, that's what they're really going to notice, is that, wow, look how white that is. Well, that's because the remains are getting bleached out by all the sun, because there's not a lot of shade around it, because it's all new growth. The World in reverse. It's not where they belong. No, it's not. It's not what's supposed to happen. Spirit does not want anyone to think that this was a part of their destiny. This was not their fate. The boys did nothing to be a victim. They have no blame in this whatsoever. This should have never happened to them. These were innocent children. Page of Cups in reverse. It was very free will based from the dad's decision. Nothing the boys did. And they wouldn't have been able to stop it. They were young children. They were in bed asleep when they were attacked. Ace of Swords in reverse. Yeah, they were not cut up. And Knight of Pentacles in reverse. There's no way to stabilize this situation. There's no way to bring comfort in this situation. These were the lives of 3 innocent children stolen. And you can say what you want to about their dad. You can say what you want to about their mom. Say whatever you want to say. But they were 3 children, 3 young boys. 5, Tanner was 5, Alexander was 7, and Andrew was 9. 3 little boys who deserved to grow up happy, having opportunities to be successful with what they found happiness in. And it was literally robbed from them. Okay. If you have any memory of any dealings with John during this time, especially if you remember the boys and any conversations you might have heard or seen, have you notified the FBI about them? You would be absolutely surprised at the smallest event that can trigger opening up a case. Did you see John's car that morning between 4 something and 6 something out there near Ohio? Did you see him at a gas station? Was he just shoveled? I implore you to reach back into your memory banks and share this reading with anyone from that area to help trigger memories, to find out what vicinities to locate the boys, where to look. Spirit says that trip was a diversion. It was to make things seem to be one thing when they were really another. The boys are not at the house. But they're not in the spot everybody keeps looking at in Ohio either. So they're somewhere in between. And it's somewhere John feels very comfortable. Okay? The boys want you all, every one of you, family, friends, mom, soul tribe, investigators, love yourself first. Take care of your mental health and your emotional health. Your self-respect makes you more attractive. When you take care of yourself, it helps you because you can also take care of others at that point. So your Archangel card for this reading is about overcoming difficulties. Now, John chose a path that was less than desirable, caused a great deal of harm, death, has him in prison. Mom is still struggling, trying to locate the boys. But everybody has choices. Basically, you could write that word right across the top of this card. Choices. Everybody has choices. And what is your choice for overcoming a difficult situation? Archangel Jeremiah, the worst is now behind you, and you are surmounting any previous challenges. Well, let's see. What is the card of advice from the boys, spirit guide, angels, and ancestors, to family, friends, and those invested in this reading? They're on a slope, falling. They're on a slope. Not a cliff, a slope. The unknown, descent, momentum, and change. The in-between. That's what this is. This is the in-between. This is being stuck. Like the movie The Groundhog Day, where you wake up and every day you have to repeat the same thing until you get it. Well, that's the in-between. And this is where everybody is stuck at now and clawing to get out to locate the boys. The in-between, the end of what once was, the letting go of who you were, and a rebirth into a new life. Unknown outcomes. Complete immersion in the process of change. Complete immersion. Changing your focus. Don't focus on that trip with your investigation. It's there. It's a part of it, but it's not your end-all be-all. It's a burp. It's a pause. What else happened? Where else did he stop? Who else did he come in contact with? Because that destination in Ohio is a burp. Okay, so thank you all for being a part of Missing Person Monday. Please let me say, never, ever, under any circumstances, will I request or accept monetary support in any fashion regarding the missing person readings. These are a gift from Spirit to help guide, to help support those who are seeking, whether it's family, friends, or searchers or investigators, or as sometimes called armchair detectives, who are investigating and investing their time and their energy to bring forth the truth and the solution. You're amazing. You really are. You're really amazing. But do not allow that trip to Ohio to be your primary focus. Think of it as a burp on the radar. What else did that man do? Where else did he go? Did he borrow somebody else's car? What did he do? Because that wasn't the only place he went. And it certainly is somebody out there that he had contact with, and they can come forward and give information to help solve this very sad case. So I send you all my love and light in hopes that the Skeleton Boys information comes forward quickly and we're able to bring them home. Namaste.